breaking news coming in at this point. The CPIM leader, Sitaram Yechury, he is no more. Sitaram Yechury has passed away at the age of 72. The CPIM General Secretary, Sitaram Yechury, has died. He was, in fact, in a very critical condition. He was in ICU for a number of days. And breaking news now coming in at this point that the CPIM General Secretary, Sitaram Yechury, he is no more. He was, in fact, at the ICU, was admitted at the ICU at AIIMS with his condition, critical condition, and he, in fact, had required oxygen support, and his condition was quite critical. It was being monitored by a multidisciplinary team of doctors. In fact, the CPIM has now confirmed that the CPIM General Secretary, Sitaram Yechury, has passed away. 72-year-old veteran CPIM leader Sitaram Yechury is no more. Remember, Sitaram Yechury, he was an Indian politician, the General Secretary of the Communist Party of India. He is also the member of the Politburo of the CPIM for a very, very long time. He was also a member of the parliament in Rajya Sabha from West Bengal from 2005 to 2017. He has passed away. He was admitted at AIIMS in a very critical condition for a very long time. The 72-year-old General Secretary of CPIM, he is no more, is what we are learning at this point of time. He was, in fact, he had, in fact, started his political career with the SFI, the Students' Federation of India, in 1974. This is the same year, a year later, is when he had then joined the CPI, the Communist Party of India, Marxist. In fact, he had a crucial role to play during the emergency as well in 1975, where he was arrested at that time while he was still a student at the Jawaharlal Nehru University. He then he was also part of the resistance movement, organizing resistance to the emergency before he was arrested there. Post the emergency, he was then elected as the president of the Jawaharlal Nehru University's Students' Union 3 times during that 1 year. He, in fact, also, along with Mr. Prakash Karat, he was instrumental in creating the leftist bastion at the JNU. Remember, he was then elevated and then elected as the All India Joint Secretary of the SFI. His student, after that, he was the first president of SFI who was not from Kerala or Bengal. In fact, in 1984, Mr. Sitaram Yechury was elected to the Central Committee of the CPIM, and later, a year later, in 1985, the party constitution was then modified, and a 5-man Central Secretariat was elected, consisting of young stalwarts, including Mr. Sitaram Yechury. And my colleague Maria Shakil joins us to get us more on this. Maria, what a loss for the CPIM as well as Indian politics then.
Absolutely. I think one of the most affable and accommodative left leader that you can think of. I remember him, as a parliamentarian, we would often go to the tall leader of the CPIM and to get details during the UPA years. Remember, he made his first debut as a parliamentarian from Rajasthan, and thereafter, Mr. Yechury had a long inning in the Rajya Sabha, seen as the kind of clout that he enjoyed, particularly in the opposition camp. And in the 1970s, particularly, he rose to fame when he stopped the Prime Minister Indira Gandhi from attending a JNU event and read out the students' demand for her resignation in her presence. He has been dubbed as one of the most affable leaders, someone who spoke his mind, but at the same time, he was very accommodative. I mean, quintessential Mr. Yechury, of course, that he came from a background of communist family. He was born in Chennai. Mr. Yechury left his studies midway at Nizam College in Hyderabad, and he shifted his base to Delhi. He studied economics at the St. Stephen's College. In fact, we will be joined by those who were his fellow students shortly to get more details on his last few days. For the last few days, Osama, he was admitted at the All India Institute of Medical Sciences, where his entire family was with him. Mr. Yechury, like most, comrades, was an ardent admirer of Surjit and Jyoti Basu, and he had accompanied both of them to China as well. He knew multiple languages, and every time as journalists we had an opportunity to interact with Mr. Yechury, he would take us back in time to great interactions that he had had. He was one of those who was ready to walk that extra mile to cover the ideological divide. Seen as an extremely endearing politician, a rare in present times, but certainly a very, very tall leader. Who was ideologically committed, but at the same time, he was seen as someone who was very, very accommodative, something that we saw during the UPA years. Mr. Yechury and the debates that played out between Mr. Jaitley, late Mr. Jaitley of the BJP, and Mr. Yechury in Parliament is something that we remember even today. I mean, unimaginable contribution that has been there from both their sides to the debate in Parliament, where they participated and raised the level of debate and ensured that others participate and measure up to their standards as well. So Rajya Sabha had seen some of the most, tall leaders who actually indulged in that kind of conversations, which was unthinkable in several years. So Sitaram Yechury leaving behind a huge vacuum in Indian politics, a tall leader, but at the same time, someone who started his career as a student leader at the Jawaharlal Nehru University around 50 years ago, and then he became the CPIM chief in 2015. So a long, long political career of Sitaram Yechury coming to an end with his demise.